What's up, everybody? We're now live on Facebook, and to my left, we're on Jason's Instagram as well. Today, we are diving back into our talk on Facebook ads, and this is going to be part 2 of probably 1,000.
Yeah. We just like doing this every week. It's fun.
Hopefully, this setup works. If the noise is kind of crazy, definitely leave a comment so that way we know whether or not you can hear us. Because
we've never tried it with both Insta and the computers going at the same time. So if that's funky, so anybody watching on my Instagram real quick, hello, Charles, what's going on? So if you're watching on Instagram, you can also watch on Facebook. If you go to Jonathan's page, who's in the lower hemisphere here, is Jonathan Hawkins Official, Hawkins. Jonathan Hawkins Official on Facebook. We are live there too, just kind of covering all the bases. And we're going to be talking about Facebook today, Facebook advertising. It's going to be a blast. If you watched our live last week, which was on my page on Facebook, which is Jason Pantana, we were jumping into the Facebook Ads Manager, essentially talked about the difference between a dark post and a boosted post. We talked about the difference between I'm reading Brandon Porter, still echoing. Maybe turn off one of your audio. We didn't think about that, did we now? All right, so I'm going to leave my Instagram live for like another second. Anybody who's watching live right now, there's only like 4 of you watching now. So, Jonathan, I'm making an executive call.
I have the solution.
What, headphones? I don't have headphones handy.
Just for me.
Okay, just for you.
Because now it's because it's on your platform. So I think we should be good now.
Okay. This is fun.
Are we good now, everybody? Can you guys
All right,
hear
hey, Brandon, can you comment back if we're good on Instagram? And for those on Facebook, hello. We're waiting on Brandon Porter. There's a 6-second delay. Or anybody who's watching.
I think it's going to be
nice. Hello. What's going on, everybody? All right. I think we're probably good. There's a whole bunch of people joining the Instagram right now. Jonathan, why don't we jump in on Instagram, on Facebook. We're on Jonathan Hawkins Official on Facebook Live. And I'll tell you that from time to time. We're picking up our conversation on Facebook ads. Jonathan, anything to add to the conversation that we had last week, just so people joining in this week know what we're talking about?
Yeah, so basically, if you didn't watch our video last week, we kind of set the foundation as far as what some specific words mean, as far as, what a boosted post means versus what a dark post means versus where to just kind of find some of the things. We talked about when creating ads, knowing exactly who your avatar or your target is, because your ads are going to be geared towards that specific audience. So that's kind of, some of the foundational things that we went over. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to dive in solely on the audience aspect of Facebook. There have been some changes, like within the last 48-hour changes. So we definitely want to talk about those. And then we just want to give you the ability to start creating some audiences based off of data that Facebook already has on your actual Facebook pages. We're not going to talk about pixels and websites and different things on other pages because there's so much data that Facebook is collecting on your actual page, whether or not somebody's engaging with you, whether or not somebody's just on your Facebook page, somebody engaged with another ad, whether somebody watches a specific amount of a video. So there's so much just on your Facebook that you can do. A lot of people, correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, but a lot of people, they want to start doing all these other things with pixels and all these crazy other things, and they forget about that process or that funnel that they can create just through the own data and analytics on their own page. So I think it's rather than taking us off of the platform, let's talk about things that you can do through the platform that you may or may not already be doing. So then that way you can increase your engagement, increase your page, get more leads, close more business.
I love it. And for people who are watching on the Instagram, a lot of people have jumped on since Jonathan started that little opening bit. We're picking up on a conversation from last week. Computer speakers going, and I didn't think about that. So hopefully it's only minimal, but if you don't want to watch it on Instagram, jump over to Jonathan's page. It's Facebook, Jonathan Hawkins Official, and you can watch live there. And that we're actually going to do some screen sharing there too. So I'd actually encourage you to watch on Jonathan Hawkins' official Facebook. And then what's going on, Matt? I see a lot of people jumping on. All right, so let's jump in to the conversation with Facebook. Let's talk about audiences. What's the first thing you want to add about audiences, Jonathan?
So first off, I just wanted to say hi to the 100 or so people that are viewing this through Facebook and Instagram. Appreciate it. Our goal is to try and go live as much as possible to, bring you some different ideas, different things that we're doing, and just kind of dive a little bit into those specific questions that you have. And every show that we're doing is essentially based off of the questions that we are receiving. Yeah. So if you have specific questions while we're talking, then you definitely need to post them here in the questions, and Jason or myself will answer them live. If you're watching this and we're no longer live, still post your questions, and we'll go back to them.
We'll get notified.
And we'll definitely make sure that we get those things covered. So I am going to share my screen on Facebook now.
We're stepping up our game today, man.
Hopefully.
Apart from the echoing.
We're trying to step it up. So you should be able to see my screen now. Yep. Just my screen, hopefully. And there we go. So this is just my Facebook screen, not my screen, my screen. And on my Facebook, I just wanted to show you exactly where it is that we're going to be talking about. So you can see that I'm just here directly logged on. On the left-hand side, I'm going to click on Ads Manager. That's going to pull up the actual Ads Manager. If you're watching on Jason's Instagram, no worries. These are just very basic. Just jot down. The first step is click on the Ads Manager. Yep. Once you open up the Ads Manager to the top left, you're going to click on the 3 lines, and those 3 lines. The what?
The hamburger.
Yeah, click on the hamburger. You can see I've got tons of different audiences and different things going in here with tons and tons of different posts. We're not going to necessarily jump in those today. If you click on the hamburger, click on all tools, and then all tools under the assets category, you're going to click on audiences. Once you get into audiences, it's pulling up right now.
Once you get into audiences,
you're going to see something new, and they actually just launched this, and this is called LTV, which stands for lifetime value. So what you're going to do now in Facebook, or what you can do, is you can create a custom audience using a specific customer file. So let's say that you have a list of your sphere or past clients. You can now upload that into Facebook, and you can put a lifetime value on them. Maybe one client meant, X to you, and another client meant Y. Or maybe it's based off of, a geographic area. Maybe you have 30 past clients on your list, but 5 of them were in the exact area that you want to farm, and you want to give them a higher value than other clients or other people in your sphere. So you can now assign that LTV. The second part of it, which is super huge, is now based off of that lifetime value that you're putting to that person that's on 123 Main Street in Huntington Beach, which is right next door to you, and you love them. You can now create a lookalike audience based off of them. And Facebook is essentially going to take that audience, your custom audience was the list that you uploaded. It's going to see that that person or that specific group was worth more than some of the other groups that you have. And what it's going to do is Facebook will find people that are similar to your highest valued customers. Does that make sense, Jason?
Yeah. And so I'm going to put my recap on it if I could. So bottom line is, when you create custom audiences, you can create any kind of a custom audience. A custom audience is just a target group of people. It could be anything. We'll talk about some of the preferences in terms of building a custom audience in a bit. But the point of the lookalike is Facebook can track basically what is the known engagement from this audience versus this audience. Does this one typically produce more results, or does this one, based upon what you're looking to do? And then in the future, once Facebook's learning, so every time you run an ad to a specific custom audience, Facebook's learning about, well, these people tend to work better here for this kind of content, vice versa. So if you can press lookalike audience, and then Facebook's going to be like, oh, well, we know other people that we are targeting now who meet the criterion of what we think makes this audience so effective. We'll give you more of those people. Is that a fair recap?
Yep. And for anybody, again, that's confused or you have any specific questions, post them as a comment. We'll get to them.
Right, cool. So keep walking us through.
As far as the second step, again, that's creating the actual lookalike, and the third step is essentially measuring your performance. So using specific measures or activities as something that's higher. For instance, you can create what's called a custom conversion, which essentially means I've created an audience. That audience is, somebody that's on my past client list. Facebook has now created a lookalike audience. However, from that lookalike audience, I want to now track the people that are actually registering to search for a house. Right. Once you have those three things, the data is just going to continue to get better and better to where your lookalike audience now is people that look like my past clients who register to buy a house. I mean, that's pretty good, right?
It's pretty good. It's really good.
So we actually were not going to talk about this lifetime value thing because
we couldn't help ourselves.
It is new. What did she say?
We couldn't help ourselves.
Yeah, but we couldn't help ourselves. I think it's amazing. However, what we're going to show you is that you can create audiences already without uploading lists. You can create audiences without pixels and all these different things. And on my screen,
can I jump in real quick just to reinforce that point you made? And by the way, if you want to watch on Jonathan's screen, you're watching on Instagram right now, jump over to Facebook. We're actually live on Facebook as well, which is why you're probably hearing an echo. Facebook.com/Jonathan Hawkins official, and you can actually see a screen there as well. But you can watch on Instagram too. Hello, everybody. So you said without the pixel. So for anybody watching, pixel is what you would, I'm not going to get into it, but it's what you would use on your website so that you could basically see what is the activity of Facebook users on my website. What your point is, that's really going to be a big point here, is we want to talk to you today about how to build audiences, how to remarket to your audiences without ever leaving Facebook, without really ever needing a website per se. All right, so keep going.
This is good. If we dive back in, again, we're on the audience tab. Up here on the left, there's a blue button that's called Create Audience. You're going to click on the button, and the first one that you need to do is click on Custom. Again, a lookalike is an audience based off of your custom. So if you don't have the custom, you can't create the lookalike. You click on Create Custom, and this new window is going to pop up. This is going to ask you what you want to create your audience based off of. So again, you can create your audience based off a file list, which is a list of customers. You can create it off your website traffic. You can create it off app activity. You can create it based off offline activity. So you can actually tie your phone number into it. Anybody who calls this phone number, show them these types of ads. You could do that. But the last
conversation.
What's up?
That's a whole conversation. Hey, can I jump in on the customer file? Just so you know, if you did click that one, it's going to give you an Excel template. So for agents who are watching, you could basically just upload your database, past clients, Sphere, current clients, anybody along those lines. You would upload it using the template that it gives you in Excel. And basically what happens is Facebook's going to go in and say, we understand this name and this email match this user's profile. And it's going to go through and cross-reference your database in that Excel spreadsheet so that you can actually direct ads, like Facebook ads, directly to your database. It could be you want them to see when you have a listing or anything along those lines. So that's the customer file. And then get on, you were talking about engagement as well.
Yeah, it's just going to add to that customer file thing. Let's say that you have a list of leads that are coming in, but you can't get in contact with them. This is a phenomenal way for you to get in front of them and then give them another call. And they're like, I'm seeing this person all over the place. Maybe I should answer the guy's phone call.
That's very true.
So the last one was engagement. So if you click on engagement, that is going to pull up a new list. You can see that some of the things say updated and some of them say new. Why do they say new? Facebook just added specific things, which are phenomenal for you and I. So you can now create custom audiences, or you can do them better based off of video. How many people are watching your videos? How long are they watching your videos? So for instance, you can create an audience based off of, I want to show this ad to everybody who has watched 25% or more of my video. Or you can say, I want to show this ad to the top 2% of everybody who has watched all different types of videos. There's tons of things that you can do with that.
Well, let me jump in on that too. So
yep.
What that means is with videos, again, we talked about you don't have to leave this platform. It could all be done inside Facebook. And so a lot of people are like, oh, I got to post my videos on my YouTube channel. I got to embed them in my website. I got to get people to go to my website so my Facebook pixel can track that data. This actually is a much easier solution for a lot of people. So you have, it's a lifestyle video. It could be a listing video. It could be any type of a video that you've created. But with that button right there, what you can say is, with whatever next ad I'm creating, I want to go after people who watched the video inside Facebook. So again, we're inside of Facebook, which I think is a powerful thing to keep in mind here.
Yeah, it's huge. There's tons of stuff in here. I mean, you can go so far into depth on all these different things and start tying them to tons of stuff just within the platform.
Do you mind if I talk about the lead form, Jonathan?
Not at all. Go ahead.
All right, so the second one says lead form. So we didn't show this one. Can I walk them? Can I give you instructions on it? Because this is his computer screen. Can you go someplace else for me real quick? Can you go as if you're creating a new ad?
As long as it's G-rated.
Thanks. Go like you're creating a new ad for a second. I want to see where the campaign objective is so I can show them that. And what I want to basically, just go to Ads Manager over the middle one, create and manage Ads Manager. Click that. Yep. All right, so we're coming in the Ads Manager. It's loading right now. And again, if you're on Instagram while it's loading, you're welcome to watch on Facebook too. We're live on Jonathan's Facebook page, which is Jonathan Hawkins Official. We're live there. And he's got his screen up so you can actually see what we're doing, because this actually requires a bit of a visual aid. So this is going to, so click Create if you wouldn't mind. We're just going to make a new one. First screen I want to show them is where we choose the campaign objective. And look at the middle column where it says consideration.
Sorry, it was
traffic, engagement, web views, lead generation. So lead generation is the one I want to focus on right now. You might have done this before, like you saw an ad on Facebook. You're just scrolling through the Facebook newsfeed or whatever it was. You saw an ad and it said download a PDF, or it said learn more. You click the button in the ad and then poof, up pops a little dialog box, and it has your information auto-filled, your name, your last name, your phone number, your email. It's auto-filled. And the intention is for you to press submit. And if you press submit, whatever the offer was, like let's say it's a downloadable buyer guide, like a PDF or something, you'll get that after you submit your contact information. You tracking with me, Jonathan?
Yep.
So what you have the ability, so if we could, can I have you hit back a few screens to where we were before? So let's assume or presuppose that you've run an ad, a lead ad. Let's call it a lead ad, meaning the lead generation actually occurs inside of Facebook. So I'm going to operate under the premise of it was a buyer guide. So you're like it's a PDF, it's a downloadable buyer guide. You ran it in Facebook. You targeted whoever you targeted with that ad. Okay, I'm not talking about the custom audience right now, but you targeted some people. And what you have when we get back to the screen here is the ability that for the next ad, you could actually run the next ad toward people who opened up the download option, but they didn't submit their information. Does that make sense, Jonathan, what I'm saying?
Yes.
If that doesn't make sense, you guys can ask comments too. I'm going to actually, while you're doing this, I'm going to peek at the comments.
Yeah, so let me just recap exactly what you said.
Yep.
For people. So essentially what you can do, and hopefully that made the screen a little easier, is that should you run an ad, a lead ad, to get somebody, let's use an example, maybe you're doing an ad based off of people trying to find their home value. They click on the ad on Facebook. Instantly, that's going to populate their information. Mm-hmm. Once they don't submit that, this is where you can now send them a different type of ad. Or if they did submit it, you can also send them different other ads. So then that way, if you call them, they're not answering or whatever it might be, you have the information to then send them specific things. So that's what the lead form is. So for instance, if I click on it and if I go to my page. This one says anyone who opened the form in the past 90 days. You can say anybody who opened but didn't submit the form.
Yep.
People who opened and submitted. And you can do different things. You can make it where it's only for people that do one thing. It's only for people that do something else.
It's basically marketing follow-up, but it's all built inside of Facebook, which makes it very convenient, especially if you don't have like a landing page, for instance, where you can handle the download of a PDF or whatever it is, right?
Correct. Yeah. And then all you would do is essentially you would just choose the specific form that you want to, base this specific audience.
So do I want a first name and a last name, just the first name? Do I want an email? Do I want a phone number too? Is it optional? That link right there is where you would decide all that information.
So I'm going to go back now. So you had the video, you had the lead form option. The third one I've never done. This is create a list of people who have opened your collection ad or canvas. Essentially, Facebook gives you the ability to do large form pictures and whatnot, and you can do an audience based off those.
Yep.
The fourth one is the one that we definitely want to dive into, but I'm going to skip it for now. The fifth one is anything that we're telling you about the fourth one, which is Facebook. You can do the exact same thing on Instagram. I'll repeat that. Anything that we're going to talk about, although we're talking about Facebook, since Instagram is owned by Facebook, they've now introduced the Instagram business profile audience, which you can then do anything that you can do on Facebook as far as your audiences are concerned on Instagram. And the last one is an event. Let's say you have an open house at 123 Main Street. You have people that register that they're going to the event. You can send them a specific ad. Maybe they visited the event page, but they didn't RSVP. Send them an ad.
Same thing.
Tons of different things that you can do in the events as well.
Yep.
So you want to add something?
Nothing that we haven't already said. I mean, to me, this is where the real opportunity is to create. I mean, the term that typically gets tossed around is in the digital marketing space is ClickFunnels. And ClickFunnels are basically if this, then that. So this is round one, round two, round three. And I think the missed opportunity for a lot of marketers, especially in small business where you're busy doing other things, is really take time to think, like, what am I going to do about all the people who didn't respond to the offer? Am I going to just keep doing the same thing? Or am I going to, vary my effort and reach out in a different way? I just think the opportunity to do that with all the data that's being tracked here is crazy good. And I think what's really cool is, I mean, I know there's no shortage of great website companies, lead capture websites in our industry, but that does come with its own set of learning curve. And if you're going to have a learning curve, I would one learning curve at a time would be good. It's sort of my vantage point on it. And so if you can keep it in Facebook, I'm not saying it's better or worse. I'm just saying you can. And so why not to some degree? Yeah.
Yeah. And the only thing that I'm going to say is these are foundational aspects of ads. If you do not have these audiences, you're losing and wasting money, because the things that Facebook can do with the lookalike audience aspect is huge. Yeah. So for instance, we're going to click on Facebook page now, and we're going to open that up, and you'll see that I can now create an audience based on people that have engaged with my page. Maybe just somebody that was on my page but didn't like anything, didn't engage, didn't do anything. I can do it based off people that are clicking specific call to actions. I can do it based off of maybe somebody sent me a message. I can send them a specific ad. Maybe there's people that go onto your page and they save a post, or they save your actual page, where then you can now do specific things for them. What I'm going to say is that all custom audiences are free for you to set up. They're free. However, if you don't have them set up and you don't have all of the data being collected, it's doing you no benefit. So what you need to do is, before you don't even have to pay for the ads at this point. You need to go in here, you need to watch this video and watch my screen actually set up these audiences. So then that way, when Jason and I start talking about all these different lookalikes and basically how you can show specific things and all these different crazy things that we can talk about, you'll have the data. If you don't have these set up now, then you're just gonna your data is not going to be as good as it's going to be in, let's say, January, when you decide that 2019 you're going to do all these different things. Well, this is a phenomenal opportunity for you to just at least set up audiences before you start running ads. So
hey, can we look at something on that front? I'm just sorry to interrupt. Can we pick it? I want to challenge that for a second. You may be right, but I think there may be a tweak to it. Can you go back a screen for a second and click on video views? So, and yeah, I'm zooming in on your computer screen because it's tiny on my screen.
Oh.
Engagement, browse in the past 30 audience thing. So here's what I know. I know the Facebook Pixel, like if you don't have the Facebook Pixel installed on your website, you should do that pronto because it is list building at all times. And so the sooner you install the Facebook Pixel, it's going to be tracking activity on your website. Now, I think Facebook's limitation is what, 6 months? They won't go back further than 6 months on a list. I think that's usually their limit.
I'm not sure.
I think that it is. And I think that's been partly due to some of the changes. I can't think of not net neutrality, but it's been all the stuff happening, I think. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it's the last 6 months, 180 days. However, I didn't realize there was a limitation on, or that it had to be growing the list now with the video views, for instance. Does that question make sense, Jonathan?
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to do it for the video view aspect. You can,
whatever's in Facebook, it's got the data. So at any point you set up the audience, it pulls the data, right?
For specific things, yes. For what we're talking about,
but overall page engagement, for instance.
Well, what I'm trying to make clear is that if you don't have the custom audience set up, you can't do the lookalike audiences, and so you need to have these set up.
Right.
Correct. Yeah, but it is going to be retrospective. So like you can see, like I can set up a video ad, then I can click, okay, people who have viewed at least 10 seconds of that video, and then yes, I can go and click choose video and go back based off of videos that I posted. Correct. You don't have to do it based off of moving into the future. For your website, you do.
And you can check multiple videos. It could be this one, not this one, but this one. You could do that.
Correct. And for your website, again, that's why we're not talking about it in depth right now, because that's a whole nother thing. For your actual website, it's based off of the day that you set it up moving forward. That's the same thing for Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel, all the same. But that's why we're talking about the benefits of Facebook, and that it's everything is here, right here for you.
To Deborah. Deborah waved to us.
Oh, hello. Itzy said hi. Linda said hi. Hi, Carolyn.
Some folks on Instagram too. And hey, for those who jumped on halfway, I haven't told you in a minute. We're over on Jonathan's actual Facebook page too. He's got a screen being shared. It's Jonathan Hawkins Official. We're live on 2 platforms, hence the little echo you're experiencing. Hey, Vanessa, you're waving. Hi. What's going on, everybody? Okay, so we're running low on time. Can we do one more thing that we didn't talk about yet?
Sure.
Can you go back to, I think it's easiest to do it if you're in the ad creation window. So go back to where I had you a second ago, if you don't mind.
I'm just going to show one thing. If you were to click on Facebook page, you can click on your actual page. And then while you're here, anybody that's engaged with your page, visited your page or whatever, you can go back a year. You need to set those things up. But what I would say is that you need to also, again, you can set up as many as you want. Set up some different audiences with other different categories, meaning they have to meet more than just one criteria. Meaning anybody who visited my page, engaged with my post, and then sent me a message, create that as one audience, because that's somebody that's super valuable. So you can add different things together there.
Yeah. Okay, so while you're navigating back to the create a new ad or whatever, I can talk about it. So when you're creating an ad, this isn't a custom audience per se, but you do have the ability to apply a geo filter. A geo filter says, I can have my custom audience. Let's say it's a customer file of my database, right? I could upload that as an Excel spreadsheet, or I can say, you know what, it's going to be this ad is going to be based upon people who opened up my lead ad form, but then didn't press submit. That might be my custom audience. But regardless, you can also apply a geo filter, which says, hit people who match the criterion of my custom audience, but who are also in a specific defined location. So you could define your marketplace. It could be I'm in Nashville, so it could be Nashville, Tennessee. It could be a specific zip code in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's huge.
It could be a radius down to a mile in Nashville, Tennessee. So you might know that there might be a geographic component, like obviously for a real estate professional, there is. As much as I would love to have buyers and sellers everywhere, I'm mostly concerned with my own, where I'm licensed, where I do business. So you have the ability to actually apply a filter that it's a final filter that says all these conditions based upon my custom audiences, but only in whatever defined region. And it goes one layer deeper. Not only is it people who are in a specific location, but you can have a drop down and say, I want this ad, which is just a post. All an ad is a post that you target to people. You're paying for it. I want this post to be targeting people who live in a specific area, whatever defined area that is. I want to target people who have recently been in, say, the past 30 days or 45 days or 60 days, who have recently been in a specific area, or just all people who are there now. So they enter into an area and then boom, they're eligible for the ad. You can choose from a drop down how you want it to be, but I think it's important to add that, Jonathan, just because these are great custom audiences, but I may really say I don't want to go outside the boundary lines of where I do business. Make sense?
Correct. So just a short summary is you can easily say, show this is the custom audience based off people that engaged on my page. However, I only want to show this ad to the people that engaged on my page that live in Huntington Beach. Super easy.
Right.
So that way you're not, you don't have everybody on there. Okay, what am I trying to show now?
I think I explained it in words. It's okay. We don't have to do it. I was really just trying to show them how they do the geo filter with the ad, but it's okay. Here's what I think a lot of people might be imagining. There's a ton of different ways to create custom audiences in terms of who I want to see my ads. But the fundamental question is, what are my ads about? What am I posting? And so that's where I think the conversation goes back to a bit more basic. If you're not creating video content that talks about your listings, about your marketplace, about your brand, that talks about your expertise, if you're not blogging or sharing or posting, if you don't have the PDF, like you got it, the PDFs, at some point, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? And in this case, you got to have the content. If your page doesn't have anything being posted to it ever, you can run some ads, but it's going to be the same old thing over and over again. And these options really become powerful to you as a marketer when you have all that content. Anything to add to that, Jonathan?
No, I think that's pretty spot on.
Cool.
Heather did leave a comment, and I did actually want to say something because this is huge. Heather said, I have tried to set up lookalike audiences before with both email lists with using some of those filters, and I always get the pop-up that says that the list is not big enough or something to that effect. How many people need to be on my list to get a lookalike out of it? And I'm going to give you a vague answer because I don't know the exact number. However, it's essentially, let's say that you're just creating an ad and you're not using audiences at all. You're just using what's there for you. If your ad is too broad, Facebook is going to tell you, hey, your ad is essentially going to go into too many places and it's not going to be worth your money. If your ad or if your audience is too small, it's going to tell you the exact same thing. So I'm not exactly sure who you're using on that specific list. I would say what you should do is combine some lists. So you can combine your sphere with your past clients. Maybe your past clients is a list of 50 and your sphere is a list of 400, where you can combine those. Now with this new feature, you would just give the past clients the higher lifetime value. So you can create just one huge list and then now categorize, okay, past clients are 10, spheres 8, leads are 6, somebody that requested a home value is a 9, and then you can have a huge list of those specific people and it's weighted. So that's a workaround, which is brand new.
That's a nice feature. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Heather, I was going to ask you, do you know how large your list is? I don't know the definitive number either. I'm curious how many people you're trying to upload because you have to look at it from the vantage point of Facebook. I mean, it's statistics is what it is. They're looking for a correlation between a certain characteristic of people on average in your list that can be tied to a result. And if they don't have enough people in the list, they don't have enough data points. Like they don't have enough data points to draw any meaningful conclusion. It's sort of like way of looking at it. So that's why I'm curious how many people were on the list.
I just Googled it.
700.
100 people.
Well, she's got 700 according to this.
Oh shit. maybe that's wrong.
Well, we gotta go now. I think we're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, too bad. I gave you the wrong info. Bye. No, I'm kidding. I'm not sure. I think, if you'd like, Heather, do a screenshot, shoot it over to us.
Yeah, you can DM me as well. I'd love to look at it.
We can definitely look at it, and it's going to help everybody. So we don't mind. Do you guys have any questions on Jason's Instagram?
I got a lot of waves. I got a lot of awesome people who have been watching. Haven't had any questions. I think most people have got the message and got rid of the echo and went over to Facebook here. So I told them to do it. I'll use headphones next time, Instagram. Don't worry. I have a solution in mind. This was fun, though. This was a new test. We're always pushing boundaries on how we do this kind of a thing.
So hello to everybody. Again,
hey, Yitzy.
All of our shows are based off of your questions. So if there's something specific that you need help with, then definitely leave a comment, whether you're watching this right now or over the course of the next week. Specific topics, the more and more that we get, the more and more that we can talk about.
Yeah,
unless you don't
leave
want
us a comment, and then we haven't actually talked about this, but next Thursday is, of course, Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all. We'll talk about what that looks like because I don't think.
So we're gonna go live and we're gonna watch Jason eat.
We're gonna watch me eat. I got 2 family dinners to attend. Yeah, so we'll figure out next week. Hang on, we'll figure out next week.
Yeah.
Okay, this was fun.
Yeah. So again, what I wanted to say is, if you're only watching this and you didn't watch last week, I would say to watch last week just to get a little bit clearer identification as far as what specific terms mean. Go to Jason's page, watch the video, and then come back. Say that again.
I was it's Jason Pantana. Go to facebook.com/Jason Pantana. Last week's video is there. It's also on the YouTube page, which is also Jason Pantana. And I think you posted on your YouTube as well, but definitely watch last week because it was sort of precursory to this.
Correct. And again, if you have questions, comments, post them. Any last words, Jason?
We appreciate you guys tuning in. We like doing this. We're nerds. I'm proud of it. It's fun. Leave us questions. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We don't necessarily have a question that we want to address next week. So if you want to have something for a future episode, leave it a comment here or on my Instagram, and we'll document that and make sure that we talk about it next time. We're talking all things marketing, not just Facebook, not just any one channel, but all things marketing. And we want to see you guys crush it going into 2019 for sure.
Jim Tinsley said, I want to see both of you with the in-laws.
Well, that's where I'm going to be.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.